Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Medic Live. Hi, I'm your host, John Newton, and hanging out here with me in the Medic Live studio, my in-laws. Try not to be outlaws at the house, hanging out for Thanksgiving. This is my father-in-law, Les Reed. Say hi to everybody there, Les.
Hello. Hi.
So, kind of wondered what I did when I hid away, so I told him to come on and hang out with me. And in this week's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the Texas EMS Conference. I had the pleasure to go with my folks there at Distance CME and hang out at the booth. And then we walked around and talked to some folks and interacted and had a good old time. First, I'd like to say thank you to Distance CME for sponsoring this episode and just for, in general purposes, putting up with me. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at JNewton_DCME. You can contact me via email, jnewton.mediclife@gmail.com. And as always, guys, I do put that in the description. If you have questions during this episode, you can always, at least during the live taping, send me some little tweets there, and I will be glad to answer those questions. If you guys want to give a shout out, we'll start by saying, hope you guys have a safe Thanksgiving. Let's talk a little bit about the conference. Now, I will say that it was a very smooth flight to Texas. Been good 20 years since I've been to Texas. Been a long time since I've been in Dallas. Had a lot of fun, enjoyed it. Was not really sure what to expect at the Dallas EMS conference. I have, as you guys know, not too long ago, went to the one there in Vegas. I believe that one's the EMS Expo. I always get those guys confused which one is which. It was a little different being in Dallas. It was a little more laid back. Had a lot of fun with you guys in Texas. Ate some barbecue. I was pleasantly surprised. Yes, I'm a Memphis barbecue kind of guy. Grew up in Alabama, so we like our dry rub, but enjoyed the barbecue there. I was really pleasantly surprised at the conference. It was laid out really well. I took part in the expo. A lot of classes were offered, a lot of good speakers. Some of them you probably know, some famous folks within at least the EMS world. There were just tons and tons of ambulances, flight services. Air Evac was there, Life Care was there. Saw those guys running around, and it was pretty cool. The interaction with the providers in Texas, I got to say, some educated, well-rounded folks, both at the volunteer level and even at the what we call the professional level, those folks who get paid. A lot of educators, so it was a lot of fun to talk to you guys. My overall experience, I got to say, I like the atmosphere in Texas. We had fun in Vegas, but I got to say it was a lot more fun. I enjoyed hanging out with those folks in Texas, and I hope they let me come back to Texas. I hope I'm not banned. I was walking around with my Alabama shirt on there the first day or so, so I don't know. I got some funny eyes from those folks in Texas, but that's okay. I actually, I'm a father-in-law. He's waving the old Alabama hat there. That's
Roll Tide.
Exactly. And it's getting to be that weekend, that last big weekend there. So I had the chance to go around and, as I said, talk to some folks at the conference. And I want to start off by saying a special thanks to those folks at Fort Bend County EMS. They're in Texas, and I think it's just a little outside of Houston, if I'm getting my geography correct from what they was telling me. Terrible with names, and I know that's bad being in this business, but had a chance to speak with a lady there running the booth, and I want to say thank you for chatting with me, telling me about your service. very fascinating. Some top-notch folks, well-trained, and just she showed me some pictures of their ambulances, and we talked about protocols, and it seems like they're kind of a very progressive service. And guys, they are hiring. So I'm going to put a link for you guys to check them out. I think she said last year they ran like 30,000 calls a year, and you guys are waiting for it, right? Yeah. They pay good money, guys. This is not that $10, $12, $13 an hour kind of EMS job. And that is based off experience from what she's told me. And they are very open about their pay. Matter of fact, she wanted to know if I was willing to move to Texas, and my wife didn't have a government job here in Georgia. I don't know. I might come out there to Texas for you guys, but very nice folks out there. What we call back home, just good old country folks. And I enjoyed talking to them, but very knowledgeable folks. So if you're looking to move to the Houston area, check out those folks at Fort Bend County EMS. I actually spent some time, I spent about an hour or so talking to 3 or 4 different people at their booth. Those folks at the Association of Texas EMS Professionals. Now, those guys are advocates for you guys out there in Texas. So if you get a chance, just drop by their website, ATEMSP.org, and check out what they're doing. They're trying to raise the level of debate there in EMS education and trying to really make a difference for you guys in Texas. So I'll say thank you for speaking to me, and I would say drop them a line and just say thanks for everything you're doing for us if you're out there in Texas. When you're talking about big city EMS and you start naming off the top busiest services in the U.S., there's always one service that pops up, and that's Austin Travis. Some nice folks there at their booth. Again, you guys really got some top-notch, highly trained folks hanging out, running calls for you guys there in Texas. And that's always good to see no matter where you go and who you talk to. Those folks are ready to make sure that you have those skills that are meet the needs. And then they're going to put you on a truck. Yes, if you're looking for the fun times of big city EMS, running that 100,000 plus calls a year, 911 type stuff, you need to check those folks out at ATCEMS.org. That's Austin Travis. Probably can just type in Austin Travis EMS in the old Google search bar there, and you'll find them pretty easy. One of the top services in the U.S., and it's not just because they're busy, it's because they're good at what they do. The last thing that I want to talk about specifically from the expo, and that is Limmer. Now, I did not get a chance to talk to Mr. Limmer himself, but I finally had a chance to hold the big, nice, yellow, new edition of his textbook in my hand. It's got some weight to it, and it's not just pounds weight. It's got some knowledge weight to it, guys. I got to spend about a good 30, 45 minutes just sort of kind of perusing through, looking at the highlights. And you might say, well, that's a textbook. Yeah, that's not a lot of time. But I really got to see some of the ins and outs. Guys, if you're looking for an excellent textbook for your students and you have a say-so, check out those folks at Limmer. I'm going to put the link for that textbook for you guys up. And you can find them on Amazon, or I think you can actually order them through their website. I may give you guys the Amazon link. I'm not really sure which one, but I'll put a link in for you guys. But excellent textbook. He's been around. A lot of you guys know Mr. Limmer, Mr. Dan Limmer, for years. He's one of our more famous folks in EMS, or I don't know. He might tell you he's infamous. I don't know. But really nice guy. I've had a chance to meet him back when we were in Vegas He came by and talked to us. Really nice guy. And I think you guys will like his textbook. So I think we've been going here for about 10 minutes. So I just want to remind you guys, if you just look down there at the old bottom, there is a subscribe link. My daughter always tells me I'm supposed to point down there to the bottom and go subscribe. But yes, please, guys, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget that you can follow me. Send me those twits, whatever. At JNewton_DCME. And you guys kill me with some of your names on here on Twitter. Rocket Medic. Wanted to know if I was going to come back to Texas and if I was going to bring my boots. Well, yeah, I'll probably come back to Texas. It's been a while since I wore some cowboy boots, but I'm not opposed to wearing cowboy boots, so I might have to dig out my cowboy boots and my hat and come on back to Texas. I'm actually supposed to, here in a couple of weeks, or I think after the first of the year, I might be making a venture down towards Houston. Not sure yet. Things are not in stone, but yeah, I may have to do that. So thanks for the tweet there, Rocket Medic. I think we're going to shift gears here, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of those things that we talked about last week. It's just as a reminder about so I guess I can't really talk about Thanksgiving meals after what we did today. The wife and I did the last minute grocery shopping and got the old turkey brining tonight, getting ready for that, putting that bake on it tomorrow, getting excited about it. Her and her mother are downstairs with my daughters. Some of you guys, I may have mentioned to you guys that I do have two daughters. One is 12 and one is 15. So they're all in the kitchen and, oh, they're making all those good smelling sweets, the pies, the cakes, the cookies. So as I will say, don't do as I do, do as I say do, as my daddy used to say. Just a few reminders for you guys. You know, if you haven't already started putting the burn on the turkey, maybe think about popping it in the oven instead of frying it. Maybe if you know a local place that'll even smoke it for you, it might not be too late to get a little smoke on it. That's always good. Remember to not partake too much of those breads. You know, hold off on the stuffing and the dressing, not eat so much. Make sure that you don't skip meals. So if you're planning on having a big Thanksgiving dinner, I would say to you guys, maybe make sure you eat a good breakfast and lunch, and don't pile up the plate. Those of you guys who, like me, have a sweet tooth, I don't know, Les, what's your favorite for Thanksgiving? Turkey. What about
dressing?
And dressing?
And mashed taters. And
everything.
Cranberry and pumpkin pie.
What's your favorite dessert?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. See, I thought
made with Splenda.
Made with Splenda.
That is the way it goes when you're a diabetic.
Yeah, you know, hey, that's a good point. Him talking about being a diabetic, and for those of you who are out there who do have to watch your sugar, maybe ask if you didn't make it what it's made with, so you can have that good idea. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. I actually thought you was going to say sweet potato casserole. It's probably,
well, that's good too.
That's one of my favorites, especially when you put the marshmallows on top and the nuts.
That's the only thing at work that I went back for seconds for was a sweet potato casserole. It had all them good pecans on top of it.
And you got to make it with butter and add some butter into it and put a little butter on top of it, right?
It's making me fat just talking about it.
So again, don't do as I do as I say do. No, I don't think we're actually having sweet potato casserole. Well, we do have some sweet potatoes, but I don't think we're making sweet potato casserole. I think we're some of you guys, I got corrected today. Apparently, that's not technically yams, but I think we're doing some kind of yams or something with the sweet potatoes.
It's called with a Y.
Yeah.
Yams.
Yeah. So, but yeah, look for those low carb, low calories. For those of you guys who are hanging out on the bus, riding the streets, if you're stopping by those hospitals that, well, I know you'll be stopping by those hospitals, but, you know, if they've got spreads out, just make sure that you make good choices. Try to get a little bit of the turkey and just go light on the breads and stuff. Don't forget to eat your vegetables and your fruits. I know your mother told you you're supposed to eat your fruits and vegetables, right? So guys, have fun. Be safe out there on Thanksgiving. For those of you who run into those guys that have decided to deep fry their turkeys, remember where your burn units are. Maybe review your burn protocols. Remember those percentiles. We talk about those rules of 9 versus that Palmer rule. Remember, it's the palm of the patient's hand right here. That's that 1% rule. Anything greater than 10% is rule of 9s. And remember, those numbers that are assigned to those areas are the total area. So if it's only a portion of the area, then it's only a portion of that percentile. Don't forget your, now it's called the consensus formula, but Parkland burn formula, whichever. Just remember to first 8 hours, guys, get those fluids in and do the best you can to properly hydrate those folks, because burn shock is a real and dangerous thing, and it can happen quick in those folks, even if they don't look sick. And for those folks who may get some burn injuries from inhalation, in today's modern EMS, when we have those advanced skills for airway management, don't be scared to use them. If you have that index suspicion, those little hairs stick up on the back of your neck. Of course, you have to follow your protocol, but don't wait to intubate. That's what we say about those burn folks. All righty. So in our future, I had a chance to talk with a friend of mine, and we've been friends for a couple of years, and we've had time. We've kind of been distance friends, and we've become closer as we've got to spend a little more personal one-on-one time. I should say face-to-face time. We've been friends through Facebook and through work from a distance. We've actually had some time to sit down in person. Really nice guy, but I think here in the coming weeks, I think I'm going to add in this segment. He's been telling me about these videos, and I'm interested to see them. I haven't seen any of them yet. Funny guy. One of his favorite things is, and I can't even remember the name of the little video that you can find it on YouTube, and some of you guys probably have seen it before. It's the little G.I. Joe guy, and he says, "You got broken leg? Motrin." So yeah, I don't know. It's a funny little thing, but we're going to do a segment called Rants with Jeremy. So look for those. Mr. Jeremy Gassert, apparently he's got some things that he just wants to tell us about in EMS and put a little personal perspective on it. And I think that's going to be fun for you guys. So if you want to hear some silly stuff he says, or maybe hear me say some silly stuff, if you get a chance, and I know I mentioned them earlier, but you need to go to Fort Bend County EMS and find them, and just type in Fort Bend County EMS on Facebook and look for their pictures. You'll probably see a picture of me being a goofball. That's how I got to win one of those. They actually let me be a little silly in order to win one of their Yeti mugs. So it was kind of fun and embarrassing, but hey, the things we do to win cool prizes, right?
Were you acting?
Well, no. I think you know me better than that, Les. You know that I probably really wasn't acting.
I thought that was the real you.
Yeah, that was really me. I was just being me. And for you Texas fans, no, I was not doing the hook 'em horns sign. Sorry, that was just what's that? So sorry, guys. Although I was in Texas, so I guess if that's what you want to think, that's cool too. I think that I've been telling my wife that you guys don't normally watch that much on Thursday nights. I have been picking up viewers, and I appreciate you guys for coming out and taking the time to just log in, watch, listen to some of the educational, silly, personal stuff that we talk about here at Medic Life. But I'm thinking about changing it and making this the permanent time instead of Thursday nights because in all honesty, I know you guys want to watch The Big Bang Theory as much as I do and watch it live. And I just can't compete with Sheldon, and I know that. So I think that I may switch to Wednesday nights, but I'll let you guys know. As always, I put those stuff out through Twitter and LinkedIn and Reddit and Facebook, a couple of places. So I try to put it out for you guys and let you guys know. If there is a time that you guys would want to watch or might be more inclined to watch, let me know. And if you think that maybe you want to see more instead of just once a week, as always, just drop me an email, put some comments in the old comment section there. You can always tweet me, email me, whatever. I answer all those emails and comments and stuff. And I encourage you guys to be active. Let me know. I want to make this a better show for you guys. This is not about a bunch of, I guess, one big long commercial with a little content. I want it to be more about content. In the coming weeks, not only do I have a special segment probably for you guys with Mr. Gassard and his rants, but some of you guys enjoyed the discussion that I had with Dr. Sholey, the psychiatrist. They're from Pennsylvania. Well, he and I are going to sit down and have a couple of conversations, and I'm going to air them for you guys over these holidays, and hopefully it will be good information to help you guys get through the holiday. And we're going to talk about depression in the holidays, and I know that kind of seems depressing just to talk about depression during the holidays, but hopefully he and I can have some conversations, get you guys thinking, help you stay out of those funks that we often get into. We talked about PTSD, and you guys can see that in our previous episodes. I think it is episode, I want to say it was 5, 6, 7, and 8. It was originally one big long episode, but I know it's kind of hard to sit and watch an hour, so I broke it down into 4 of those, and they're all PTSD and EMS. So you can check those guys out, guys. And before we sign off here, I guess give me some ideas about different formats. I know I have been doing post-production, but I think I'm just going to leave these live for a while and see what you guys have to say about just watching the live version instead of a reproduction of the live by me adding in some different stuff. And hopefully I'm going to work with the format. Look for my website coming out shortly. I think we've got enough of you guys that are willing to dedicate 15 or 20 minutes every other week or so to watching. Or, yes, you can find us on iTunes as a podcast. It's Medic Life's podcast. And I'm even on Stitcher, just under Medic Life. And you guys probably are familiar with the logo. Let's see if we can find a logo, and I'll share with you guys. We'll see if we can make that logo pop up there. Oh, there they are. Oops, wrong one. I'm going to share a logo with you guys. Yep. Well, I said I was. And then I made the screen go blank. I'm a paramedic. I'm not a IT guy. Yeah. That is the Medic Life logo. So if you see that posted on stuff, just click on it and follow it. Going to be changing some of the format, hopefully, in the next few weeks to make it a little easier for you guys to follow and watch and such. So again, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook through those folks. Well, I post it all over Facebook, so it doesn't really matter where. Don't forget to like, share, and till next time, guys. My name is John Newton. Thank you for watching Medic Life. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and guys, stay safe out there on those streets this weekend. Until next time, have a good one.